Okay, good morning, class. Nice to have you once again in our grade 12 WAEC series revision. Our text of reference is in New General Mathematics, and we've done pretty well. We're in chapter 3, we're in chapter 3 talking about equations, linear and quadratic. We are now in word problems. We treated a word problem relating to linear equations in our 2 previous classes. So today we'll be focusing on word problem leading to quadratic. And it's so important that you pay very close attention to this, because sometimes the questions can be a lot tricky. All right, we'll start, and I trust that you understand us as we go. So we're on page 18 of our textbook, and the first question says, a street trader spent 550 naira on X articles, each costing 2x minus 28 naira. Find X. Now, when you're solving word problem, your first assignment is to try to translate what is said in word into mathematical statements. So what I will do, I will start by solving a few of them, which is my practice. And afterwards, I won't finish up the question, because once I've taught you how to convert them to mathematical equations, I believe you should be able to finish them up. So for this one, I will solve everything, but you have to pay very close attention, because I'll try to explain what is required in this question. Now, for this question, it says, a street trader spent 550 naira on X articles. Or what? X articles. It means that 550 naira is spent on X articles, each costing what? 2x minus 28 naira. So this is what it means. He has 550 naira. He spent it on X articles. So it will now be equal to this question, exercise 3C, and this is question 1. And he spends it on what? X articles, so that each one is now costing this. So this is the narration of the question. Now, if you look at the number as well, I will also be drawing your attention to things that you may not have been paying attention to. Please, if you are not seeing the board, please always do well by chatting or drawing my attention when there is need for me to pay close attention to something wrong I've written on the board. Now, if you look at this carefully, now watch this. All these are even numbers. Is anybody seeing that? Did you notice that? So I can cancel this 1, I can cancel this 275. So 275 will now be equal to x into x minus 14, and x squared minus 14x will be equal to 275, meaning that x squared minus 14x minus 275 will be equal to 0. I've done very serious videos on algebraic fractions for grade 11. I think I'll need to send them to you, because there are foundation topics that will help you in this aspect of factorization. So if I don't send them to you today, please remind me. I'll need to send them to you so you can watch them and improve on your sum of factors, product of factors, and factors. So now the sum of factors here will be minus 14x, and the product of factors here will be what? Minus 275x squared. Now, having done that, it means that your factors will now be equal to what? Now, the sum, the product is negative. The sum is positive. The implication is that one of them will be negative, the other will be positive. Something else you need to take note of now when you look at the sum. The sum is negative. It means that the negative number is greater than the positive number. So what you do first is try to break 275. If you look at it, any number that ends, the last two, that ends with 5, and the digit preceding it is 7 or 2, is divisible by 25. Let me come with that again. any number that ends with 5 and the digit preceding it is 7 or 2, that number is divisible by what? 25. So with that, I know that one of the numbers I need will be what? 25. And I know that the other number will be what? 11. Because 11 times 25 will give me that. All right, these things come with practice. So it's so easy for me. I can just look at it and tell, because not because I'm a teacher, not because I know it, but because I have been practicing. So you really need that when you practice, just like see Ronaldo when he takes free kick. For a long time now, he has not been scoring, but he seems to have discovered his mojo. That's what the whites will say, mojo. Good. These things are life. What you're studying here is not abstract. They are life things. Very real to life. Now, so this will now be x squared minus 25x plus 11x minus 275 equal to 0. So you factor x here, x minus 25, then plus 11, that will be x minus what? 25 equal to 0. So from here, you have that x minus 25. We're now going to x plus 11 equal to 0. So here, without wasting time, x is equal to 25 or what? Negative 11. Now, x cannot be negative. Why can x not be negative? Because cost and counting of articles cannot be negative. Now, this is something the examiner will be waiting for you. So therefore, x will be equal to 25. If the examiner knows this, and they'll be waiting for you to give him that conclusion. So in this question, question 1, x is equal to 25. That's the only answer valid for this narration. All right, number 2. In question 2, the question says 2 numbers differ by 2. So let one number be x. If one number is x, the other will be x minus 2. You can say x plus 2. You are correct. Please get this. Whether you use x plus 2 or x minus 2 in solving this problem, you are correct. Because the iteration says that let that 2 numbers differ by what? 2. It means that if I say x minus 2, x is a bigger number. If I say x and then x minus 2, it means x is a bigger number. If I say x and x plus 2, it means x plus 2 is a bigger number. You get it? So it will now be, so I've chosen to use x plus 2. So x into x plus 2. What else does it say? 2 numbers differ by good. Okay, fine. Let me clear that. Now, it says the sum of their squares. The sum of their squares means I square x and I square x plus 2. It will give me 244. The sum of their squares. The sum of their squares means square this one, and add it together. So from this, I know this is x squared plus, now there's a standard rule for this. This is x squared plus 4x plus 4 equal to 244. Now, I'm already seeing that there's going to be even, or there's going to be even numbers. So I need to look out for that. Then from here, I'll have what? 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 240 equal to 0. Now, I would have taken this one out, but remember that that's not the objective. The objective here is that I'm solving quadratic equations. So I want to generate the quadratic equation. So my process or my workflow must be such that I move everything to one side, because that's the definition of a quadratic equation. Everything must be on the left-hand side and then equated to 0. So this will now be 2x squared plus 4x minus, this is 244, sorry, minus 240 equal to 0. So what is this? I divide through by 2. They are all even numbers. So I divide through by 2, and I'll have x squared plus 2x minus 120 equal to 0. At this point, you get your sum of factors. In this case, it is what? 2x. And then, comma, you have your product of factors. I'm only doing this because of want of space. That's minus 120x squared. Now, the product is negative. It means that I'm going to be dealing with one negative and one positive. Now, the sum is positive. The sum is positive. So what do? I think of two numbers. And in my thinking, I know it's going to be what? 10x and what? 12x. Those are the numbers I'm going to be working with. 10x and what? 12x. So with this one, what I'm going to have will be x squared minus 10x plus 12x minus 240 equal to 0. Let's clean that so I'll write it very well. X squared minus 10x plus 12x minus 120 equal to 0. So that's what you're going to have. So at this point, we will now see x into what? X minus 10 plus what? 12 into x minus 10 equal to 0. So what do you have? X will be equal to minus 12. Okay, sorry, x minus 10. Let me not be too fast. Into x plus 12 will be equal to 0. So it means x will be equal to 10 or x equal to minus 12. So what's the conclusion of this? It means that x is equal to 10 or minus 12. Now, the question is, they said find the numbers. Find the numbers. Now, if x is equal to 10, now they told you to find numbers. In this question now, the number can be anything. So the true answer here is that you have 4 possibilities. If x equal to 10, comma, x plus 2 equal to what? 12. I seen that. So that's what, if x is equal to minus 12, then x plus 2 equal to what? Minus 10. So in this question, you have 2 possibilities. So the numbers are, bracket open, 10, 12, and then you have what? Minus 12, minus 10. So this one, you see that this one is quite different from the one we have solved before. This one, we're talking about cost of items. It can be negative, but this one, it can be negative or positive. So you have 4 possibilities there. So you have to be careful. You really need to understand what they want you to do in the word problem before you go into it. All right. So I'll just pause and allow you to continue the equation. So let length be x and breadth be y. What does the question say? A rectangular farm is 1 hectare in area. Its perimeter is 500 meters. Find the dimension of the farm in meters. Fine. So what it means is that x, y is equal to 100,000, or rather 10,000. Then x plus y is equal to, 2 into x plus y, which is the perimeter, will be equal to what? 500, meaning that x plus y will be equal to what? 250. All right, this is what we generate quadratic and linear. I think I'm getting the picture now. So it's actually quadratic. If you're not careful, you think it's, I was almost thinking it to be simultaneous. All right, now this one is already generating the quadratic field. So x will be equal to 250 minus y. So that's what I've done. So this is my 1, this is like my 2. I really don't use this pattern anymore. So x equal to that. So I will put x equal to 250 minus y in what? xy equal to 100,000. Sorry, 10,000. So it means that x, 250 minus y, we multiply y, and that will be equal to 10,000. Meaning that 250y minus y squared will be equal to 10,000. Right, so I'll need to clean this other side of the board. Also clean this side. So this is question 3. So what does that give you from here? It means that I'll restructure this. This means that y squared minus 250y plus 10,000 equal to 0. What did I do? I moved this way. I moved it this way. So it became right-hand side equal to 0. And then I rewrote everything. Right? So at this point, your sum of factors will be equal to minus 250y. And your product of factors will be equal to 10,000 y squared. So what do we do at this point? We need to think of two values that you can multiply to get this. And straight away, I know that one will be, they will both be negative. How is that? How do I know that? Take note that the product is positive, the sum is negative. There are only two conditions for which you can get a product to be positive. Both negative and both positive. Now the confirmatory test will be to check your sum, and your sum is negative. So both factors I'm looking for will both be negative. Or the factors I'm looking for will both be negative. So that will give me 200y, minus 50y. What I did was that I broke them into 100 times 100. And then I thought of what to do. I divided 1 by 5. I divided 1 by 2. I got 50. And then I moved the other 2 to the other side. So next thing, this will be y squared minus 200y minus 50y plus 10,000 equal to 0. So means y into y minus 200 minus 50 into y minus 200 equal to 0. So y minus 200, we're now going to y minus 50 equal to 0, meaning that y will be equal to 200 or 50. So now, y is equal to 200 or 50. So what do we do? We can now make relevant substitution to x. Remember I said that x is length, y is so put y equal to 200, and 50 in x plus y equal to 250. So x will be equal to what? 250 minus y. So if y is equal to 50, to be what? 250 minus 200, which will give me 50 if y is 200. Now, x will be equal to 250 minus 50, and that will be 200 if y is equal to 50. But looking at the analysis of this question, we already know what the answer will likely be. We have defined x to be length and y to be breadth. Breadth can never be bigger than length. So length will be equal to what? 200, and breadth will be equal to what? 50. And that solves that question for us. So that's how that one is solved. So we're done with that. Okay, for the next set of questions, we'll try to generate the equations, and then I will expect that you finish it up. Now, you said the length of a room, question 4. The length of a room is 3 meters longer than its breadth. So let the length be x. So therefore, breadth will be equal to x minus 3. That's it. It says 3 meters longer than the breadth. It said the area of the room is 28 meters squared. It means that what? Length times breadth will be equal to 28 meters squared, which means that what? X into x minus 3 will be equal to what? 28. So please solve and get me value of x. Question 5. The product of two consecutive odd numbers is what? 323. So consecutive, let the smaller be x. Therefore, let the smaller odd number be x. So therefore, consecutive odd number will be x plus 2. For consecutive odd numbers, you add 2. Now, this is the logic here. Look at this. If I have 3, the next number will be 5. What will I do to 3 to get 5? I'll add what? 2. So that's the understanding there. So from here, we have that x into x plus 2 will be equal to 323. Right? So you finish that one up. That's for question 5. Question 6. Question 6. Question 6. If a number is increased by 30, it is less than its square by 12. So let the number be x. Is that if a number is what? Increased by 30, x plus 30, it is less than its square by 12. It means x squared minus 12. That's what it means. It's not talking about less than or greater than. If a number is increased by 30, it is 12. It is less than its square by 12. That's what it means. So if I square the number and I remove 12, I'm going to get this number back. Right? So that's for question 6. So you need to solve and finish this one up. Now for question 7. I'm just setting them up like this so that you can solve them and give us feedback. Question 7. A cyclist travels from A to B a distance of 8 kilometers at x kilometers per hour. He travels from B to A the same distance at what? X minus 4 kilometers per hour. If the total time taken is what? 1 hour, 10 minutes, 5x. Now, for a question like this, I think it's trying to test your knowledge of physics. So we know that speed is equal to distance over time. And if you watch carefully, there are two parameters defined there. Time and distance are key to generating the equation for you. So I know that distance will be equal to what? Speed times time. So I've gotten this. This is what I got as understanding. So I'm going to read the question again and begin to look out for where I need to modify or rearrange my equation. Now, a cyclist travels from A to B. Whether it's going from A to B or coming back from B to A, the distance is the same. Take note of that. So the distance of what? 8 kilometers at X kilometer per hour. So it means that for the first one, distance A to B will be equal to what? What's the speed there? The speed is X times what's the time? Oh, 8 kilometers. Oh, sorry. Distance A to B will be equal to 8 kilometers. It means that back, B to A will also be 8 kilometers. Fine. Now, it travels from B to A the same distance at what? X minus 4 kilometers per hour. If the total time taken is what? 1.5 hours. So time taken equal to 1 hour, 10 minutes. You convert that to minutes, and that will be what? 60 plus 10 in minutes. And that will give you 70 minutes. Good. Now, you say you should find X. Okay. Sometimes too, we may need to leave this in hours. So this will be 1, that will be 7 over 6 hours. So how did I get that? I divided this with 60. Sometimes it may be wise to keep your conversion that way. All right. Now, the distance is the same. So the definition, the description we have here now, we need to now see what it will look like in minutes. So time from here will be equal to what? Distance over speed. So these two will be equal. So distance from A, the time taken now will be 7 over 6 total time equal to what is this, the time from A to B? A to B is what? 8 over X plus what is the distance from B to A? Is still 8, but the time now will now be X minus 4. So this is what you're going to now use to finish up the equation. Maybe I should do a little narration down. This might betray some of you up. Now look at the time AB that's going from A to B now. What's it equal to? It is the distance 8 over the speed. The speed at that time is what? X. Now time BA, that's moving from B to A, will be equal to the distance will still be 8, but this time around the speed will be what? X minus what? 4. Now remember that the total time taken is this. So to get the time, total time, it will be equal to time AB plus time BA. Time AB plus time BA, which is this and this. So that's how I got this to be what? 8 over 7 over 6 equal to what? 8 over X plus what? 8 over X minus what? 4. So that's how I got it. So you have to solve now, simplify it and finish it up. So that's for question 7. I've generated the equation for you, so you have to solve and finish it up. All right, that's the much we can take for today. I would expect you to solve this, and please, I'm making an appeal. Let's have this ready for me by 12 o'clock today. 12 o'clock today, please. 12 o'clock today. Don't worry, you get the video almost immediately. So let's have everything ready for me by 12 o'clock. Thank you.